Welcome to Who Put This On, Season 3, Episode 7, where we watch Sister Wives, Season 1, Episode 1. I'm Chris Lorenz.
I'm Harrison Hoffman.
I'm polygamist.
And I'm Brian.
Welcome back to the pod, Brian.
Good to be back, Chris.
Thanks. So this show, Harrison, you got the description up. I see. We need to start talking about the show, so go.
At first glance, the Browns are a typical big American family, but as patriarch Cody explains, I fell in love again, and then again, and then again. This is a look at the polygamist lifestyle of Cody Brown, his 4 wives, and their extraordinary family. That's Sister Wives on TLC.
You'll have to avoid the noise that you can probably hear in the background right now. Yeah. So this show starts out with only 3 wives, though.
Yeah, did you name 5 wives?
No, 4 wives.
Right. But he said again and again and again and again.
I think it was just 4.
Okay. Give it a shot. Ooh, I think we did it. Sorry
A
about the
little
honking.
Yeah. So, Brian, what is the show?
Fucking insanity is what it is. It's like this guy has found relationships with not one woman, but 4 different women.
So this show is like what I would call the show is almost like a mini documentary around this giant family. There's not a lot of manufactured drama, it seems. Like anything you see in the show is most likely very real. Other than this dude seems very fake.
Let's talk about the dude for a second. Let's talk about
Cody.
Let's talk about Cody.
He is a mystery.
So this is obviously, if you can't tell, it's just this dude married 3 people and then is engaged at the end of this episode to a 4th.
Yes. And I'm not sure how old he was when this happened, but he basically converted to be, I'm not sure what the religion is, but to be a polygamist.
Yeah, so 21, I think, or 22. No.
He was 22. Yeah.
He meets Mary?
Mary. Meri.
Yeah. And Mary is in this polygamist sect of Mormon church, or like a separation from Mormons.
Yeah,
like
in Utah.
These people were like, we love polygamy. Mormons were like, oh, we're getting rid of polygamy. So they're like, fuck you guys, we're going to be our own thing.
Right.
This is essentially what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I haven't looked it up, nor do I really care, but that's what it seems like. We're just going to go with it.
No, you're right.
So Mary was in this religion. He was not. So he converted because Mary always wanted to have a sister wivehood thing. I don't know.
It's so fucking weird.
I don't know.
This whole situation is unbelievable. I mean,
I don't know how you feed that many people.
Like, I feel like this guy should look as though he hasn't slept in years, and yet he looks weirdly fake tanned and very relaxed generally.
I don't
and
think
like
Well, no, he just has like a giant house he can go hide out whenever somebody's crying.
I guess
He's like, oh, we're having drama with you. I'm just going to go sleep with this other person tonight. Get some of that stress out.
he definitely does not seem super stressed out for this situation. He seems like a very laid back kind of guy.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like any of this is giving you anxiety or stress at all.
I mean, I think that part of the answer to that is because these 3 and soon to be 4 wives are just running this entire house full of 18 children for him, I guess.
There's 16.
16 children?
16.
Yeah.
It's way too many.
And I'm sure that his job situation probably helps because we have no idea what the hell he does.
Yeah.
Brian, you look this up. Can you shed any light on this?
So they were purposely vague during this episode because Mary lost her job almost immediately once she was going to be on this show.
Oh man!
And then Cody, he was intentionally vague, but then it kind of hinted towards like internet advertising, which kind of makes sense because like it's nothing else is going on around there. Like he can do it on his own. He also said he didn't want like a boss because he was afraid of his boss's reaction when he found out of his lifestyle.
But So in 12 seasons of the show, by the way, there are 12 seasons.
Yeah.
They never said what he does.
Right.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, that seems to be such a central question to how this whole operation works.
Yeah.
That, like, I mean, he has
so
four.
like this is episode 1. There's like another 200 episodes where he just doesn't say what he does.
Yeah.
The easy answer is TLC is paying him out the ass.
I
Like,
mean,
this is great entertainment.
Yeah,
Now,
but that's
like,
pre-show.
Now I could see them being supported by the money from the TV show. I could certainly see that at this point.
That many people though.
So
Like that's so many people.
So we're starting out with 16 kids and 3 wives
Oh,
and
wait,
Cody, right?
no.
And now we're gonna
It's
grow to
16 people total, including the wives, husband, and kids.
Okay, so we're talking about
12
kids, 4 adults in the house to
Yeah.
begin with. They're gonna add a fifth adult and like 3 more kids to the mix.
No, 4 more kids.
Four more kids
because one of them is pregnant. They're going from 16 to 21.
So we should talk about how this house is structured, maybe, because I think that's a pretty interesting part of this lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
so through this show,
Yeah.
this is kind of like a mini documentary, I'd say, because it goes through like kind of their history. Whereas like going forward, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot less of that.
They certainly have to explain how the whole polygamy thing works and how they all live together and stuff in this episode.
Yeah. So Mary lives on. So there's this house that has 3 sections.
Yeah.
One section is the bottom right-hand side of the house. That's where wife 1 lives.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the top half of the right side, which I don't know who lives there. And then somebody lives on like the left side of the house, which is a smaller side. Like it's not smaller, it's like a bottom and top, but it's like width-wise, it's smaller than the right-hand side.
And basically, like, this house is just made so that each wife can have their own section of the house, complete with living room, kitchen, bathrooms, and bedrooms.
Which raises a question for me.
Yeah.
They're adding another wife. Do they just add a section of the house? Do they
I
already
feel
have
like-
I think they have one extra section.
No,
they-
I don't think so.
No, because there was so this house was specifically built by a polygamist. So there,
Yeah,
Of
obvious-
course it is. It has to be.
right? But like it was like split into like 2 sides.
Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
Like, they both
We
had
just
2
talked
levels.
about this. The
yeah, so then
left-hand side was shorter width than the right-hand side. I think it was equal amount of space between all 3.
They might
okay.
have to add on to the house.
There was definitely a scene in this season on where there was like a bunch of kids running into a kitchen that we didn't see. So
Okay.
like maybe they added another extension on.
Yeah.
I mean they have to.
Yeah.
I think the more fucked up thing would be if there was space, because you would always know that somebody else was coming.
It's true. I feel like the way the wives are reacting right now, I like to call them the wives. They definitely weren't expecting a 4th person, I don't think.
I mean, they've all been married to him for like the last 16 years, before, like, and they haven't added another wife. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a little bit since they've had to integrate somebody new. So
I'm not quite sure on the timeline there. I wouldn't quote Harrison on that.
No. That's definitely
They
yeah.
got married 19 to 16 years ago, all
Yeah.
3 of them.
Okay.
They've all been together 16 years, and all of the kids were born after all of the wives were already in the mix.
That's
Also
so
true.
weird.
So
Oh,
they've pretty much all raised all these kids, and like
Yeah.
it's insane.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
can go over the first wife here,
Okay.
Mary.
MERI.
She has 1 kid with Cody. So do you think that they're just not banging as much?
It seemed like she wanted more kids, and the body just did not.
Maybe Cody just doesn't like her that much anymore.
Who knows?
I don't know.
In favor of Janelle. I'm
Jan-
sorry, that's mean to Janelle. Janelle, you're probably a great mom.
I feel like Cody and Janelle had like some of the like more memorable loving moments than the other 2.
Yeah.
I feel like Marie had the least from what I could see.
Is Marie number 2 or number 3?
1.
Mary-
Oh,
Mary.
Mary.
Sorry, not Marie. Mary.
Mary, Janelle, and
They're all named Marie.
I don't know. Brian, what's the
I
third
don't
one?
remember either. Like,
Damn
was-
it, Brian.
I'm trying to keep track of like all these names as well. It's really difficult. Like I don't know how that guy does it.
it's just number 1, number 2, number 3, and Robin.
Yeah.
we know all but one.
Yeah.
So Janelle is a very heavy-set woman in this episode, comparatively to the other two wives. Looking back on their wedding photos, though, she was definitely heavier, but not like.
Sure.
She wasn't like a thin person, but she was not, as heavy-set as she is now.
Yeah.
She has some like crazy job. I don't remember what she said it was, but she was working all the time. And she was happy that she didn't have to make dinner.
Yeah, they didn't really say what her job was, but it was like sometimes she works crazy hours. So I take care of her kids.
They're intentionally vague.
Yeah.
So, Harrison,
Yeah.
if you found out one of your like hires was a polygamist, would you fire them?
Of course not.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's like immediately you get fired because you're a polygamist.
No,
Yeah.
I know, but like people discriminate all the time. Like, I mean, it's certainly.
Are you saying that it wouldn't even get to you wouldn't even hire this person to begin with?
It's not what I'm saying at all.
That's what I heard from you. When
I'm
you
just
said,
telling
when you started talking, that's what it sounded like.
I have a different take on this. The answer is it depends. Are they like wholesome polygamists like these guys, or like creepy polygamists?
What are creepy polygamists?
You know one when you see one.
Oh no!
Oh, I'm just walking away from this. So Janelle has 5 kids, correct? 5?
It's somewhere 5 or
yeah.
6.
Yeah.
Somewhere
And
in there.
these are like the whitest people.
Yeah. All
And they
the
have the
names are
white
very
names.
The white names.
Madison.
Well, there's already father's name.
Michaela, but spelled real weird.
There's Gabriel, I think.
Garrison. Did I say Garrison already?
No, you
What
did
about
not.
Savannah? Is that a different one?
Savannah. Yeah.
I feel like Savannah's not like a white person name though.
Savannah.
It's like a city.
Sure.
That's all. I don't think I've ever met a Savannah. It's almost like a stripper name.
I've met a Savannah, not a stripper, but I have met a Savannah.
Are you sure she wasn't just giving you her stripper name?
It's hard to tell. It was in a work context, so I assume no.
Could be a work name. Some sort of escort name.
Who knows?
Escort event.
Anyway.
And then wife number 3, which no one knows her name.
Number 3.
She's pregnant with
Truly Brown.
Truly A. Brown.
No, it's not A.
Yeah.
It's truly Grace Brown.
Yeah.
Truly Grace. Can you explain her statement when she was explaining why it's truly
Okay.
Grace Brown?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I want to talk about why this lady wanted to be a third wife.
Yep.
She doesn't want to be a first wife because,
Christine.
like, Christy. Yeah.
There we go.
She doesn't want to be a first wife because, like, she just brushes it off as like the most insane possible thing in the world. Like, I'd be alone, which is so fucked up.
I didn't want to be married alone.
Yeah, it's so weird.
And she didn't want to be squished in the middle.
Right. You don't want to be the middle child.
You don't want to be the middle wife. And, you can't have 2 wives because then there's a lot of, there's a lot more drama with 2 wives. I think that would be true.
The third one comes in as like the therapist.
Calms everything down.
Like, I don't know. I don't have any rational reasonings why 3 wives would be better than 2.
I mean, I guess I can see it though. I mean, like, you're married to one wife, things are going pretty well. You bring a second wife in the mix, and that's a little bit hard because you just the 2 of them bringing that extra wife, and that's gonna be a tough situation. But then when you bring that third one in, at that point you're all in on this whole polygamy situation. You just gotta kind of go with it.
But he's like,
I don't know,
he's like Icarus right now. He's just getting closer and closer to that sun.
man. I cannot believe that this family is this big in this place.
4 wives, though.
4 wives,
4 wives?
20 plus people in this house.
After talking about their sex life, though, you really can believe it.
Yeah, I mean, well, so basically this dude just floats between like these different wives' beds every night.
There's 3 master bedrooms in this house.
Yeah.
Think about that.
So-
3 kitchens. There's got to be enough rooms for all of these kids.
It's a huge house.
It's unbelievable.
The guy doesn't have his own room in the house except for a closet. So he just goes on a rotation and spends the night in different wives' beds.
So do you think that he didn't find this 4th wife because he didn't have enough money to make a new extension on their house.
Oh man.
Like, is that like the limiting factor?
Well, like at some point you have to consider the finances of the situation here when you're bringing on another wife and
But
four more kids.
You're bringing on another person that can help pay for
Right.
it, though. Some economy of scale here.
Plus they
it
have-
is not clear to me in this situation who has jobs and who doesn't have jobs,
Well, there's only one person that doesn't have a job.
and
yeah,
that's
it's Christy, right?
Christy.
Number 3.
Christy
No.
is the housewife.
Mary doesn't.
Well, she did have a job.
Yeah, right.
Womp womp.
yeah. Like,
In the
okay.
show, it's clear that Christy's the one taking care of the kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mary, not clear what she did.
I mean,
It's not really clear what anyone is doing in the show.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
very very confusing, and like it is unclear what the arrangement's going to be with the fourth wife either.
Yeah, I'm sure she has a job though.
Maybe, yeah, probably. I mean, she already has 4 kids, so I assume she has a job.
Yeah, I don't think you can support 4 kids
Yeah,
as a stay-at-home mom.
on no job. Yeah.
Stay-at-home mom, 4 kids.
Yeah.
We're doing it. So, on that level, you've got 4 kids and you're a stay-at-home mom. And then you meet this guy that already has 3 wives. One wife already stays at home and takes care of the kids.
Yeah.
That's got to be a win-win right there.
So you're basically marrying into a daycare kind of situation.
So the economics here works out pretty well for the 4th wife.
Oh, I think
So
so for
weird.
sure. This is definitely a better financial situation for the fourth wife than being a single mom of 4.
Yeah.
100%.
You're definitely setting your kids off in a much better situation.
Although all these kids, as we've now learned, are either being homeschooled at this place or sent to a religious, all polygamist school. So I
Yes.
don't know exactly what the curriculum's like at that school,
Well, I mean, if you're considering being a sister wife,
Yeah.
I think you're okay with the polygamy situation enough to let your kids go to polygamy school.
but sure.
It seems like this dude must have been like he started to make bank recently for maybe his internet company, because like he's getting another wife. He started sending his kids to private school. They were homeschooled. Like there definitely seemed to be like an economic upturn.
Something happened.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's been 16 years since they've added a wife, so
You love to bring that fact up.
must be pretty special.
16
That's just a long ass time to be at the same number of wives
needed
if
to-
you're intending to add another wife.
He needs to keep a spot open for a really young chick, when they get old, like right now.
Gotta keep the rotation.
Yeah, like how old are they now? They're in their 40s, right?
I guess I don't really know. It's probably
Brian,
Unsure.
Brian, you're the one that looked it up.
Current day or season 1?
So
like-
right now in the show,
In season 1 or season 12?
Season 1.
Okay.
Not talking about season 16 yet.
By the way, like we watched a couple of seconds of season 12, episode 1 before we started because we thought we might go with that. And
had
Cody
no-
looks so old now. Cody is so old now.
Oh, I have to go back and watch that. I didn't see any of that.
Oh, yeah.
Cody was old, and they didn't introduce anyone. They were just like, last time
Previously.
on, this person got married. This person's leaving. We were like, who the hell is a sister wife?
We
Who
had
are they married
no
to?
idea.
No idea. We had to start with episode 1.
I think I would be interested in watching like 10 minutes of season 12.
It seems
Just
like,
like where are they now? This is like Jersey Shore Family Vacation, but you're a
it could
polygamist.
be more like Vanderpump Rules, where like the first like 4 or 5 minutes was like a recap, and you're like, "What's going on?" But then by the end of the episode, you kind of knew what was going on.
Yeah, that would be nice.
It might have turned out that way, but we didn't give it a shot.
Yep.
Yeah. So this whole situation. Do you think that there's the reverse where there's multiple guys and one girl allowed?
No. That would be like sex equal and the world is cruel and unfair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's in their religion or not, but
I mean, if you look at the whole history of humanity, and like situations where in war where a lot of men were like killed, this half makes sense. If there's more women than men around, and you just need to procreate, get a lot more people in the world, I half see it.
You know, the practice actually started during the Great Mormon War of 1873.
Well, the Mormons started it because everyone died on their way out to Utah.
Is that true?
I don't know.
I gotta go back and watch that South Park episode.
Oh man,
That great Utah migration, the Great Mormon migration to Utah, is one that started.
it's not a bad theory.
I just think this always starts because somebody in power just wants more women. That's it.
Sure,
That's how this always starts and why it always stays.
man. I mean,
So anyway,
it would definitely be interesting to watch a show about the one wife and a bunch of husbands. I mean,
Is this
certainly
just the Bachelor and Bachelorette
maybe
now?
it's certainly would have less kids in that household.
that would
Probably,
be
but
such an insane twist for The Bachelor. He finally gets to the final episode and he says, "P.S. I already have 2 wives."
Oh,
That would be so good.
Do you think that if you were in this, say, female or woman with 3 men and they had a kid,
Mhm.
do you think that they would DNA test to see who it was, whose kid it was, or you just like
whatever,
whatever?
It's all the brother husbands. I don't know.
They always play this in like Star Trek, where there's like a community raises 1 kid,
Oh
Yeah.
and
So
they're not really sure who the mother or father is. I think.
So, like, okay, so how is this actual marriage arrangement happening for
From a legal
polygamists?
standpoint?
So, yeah, like from a legal standpoint, is it because like it's their religion? Like, is there any kind of actual marriage here, or is it just some kind of thing?
I think you sign a certificate and you're married.
No.
But you can't have I don't think you have multiple active marriages.
No,
at
no.
once.
I'm not saying
From
the
a
U.S.
legal-
government. It's just
from a-
like a certificate you put on the fridge.
Okay.
yeah. So there's only one legal marriage, and the other people are just like cohabitating, and then
Cohabitat.
I don't know how to pronounce that word. Anyway,
Fine.
but yeah, like it. So Mary was like the official, like, this is my first marriage, and
So
then
this
everybody.
is my only marriage.
Well,
So
only-
they're
only-
married.
well,
and they're getting
soon-
yeah. So they're married. They're getting the tax deductions, all that stuff.
Yeah,
on that
yeah,
one.
right.
Okay.
You know, the other 2 wives should marry, get the tax deduction.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I'm not sure it's legal in Utah.
Mm.
It is nowadays.
It's legal. The
Yeah.
It's
Supreme
legal
Court
in the
says
U.S.
it's
now,
legal.
yeah. But I'm saying like in 2008 or whenever this
Yeah.
started.
Well, this 4th wife is definitely screwed. She can't marry anyone.
Wait.
She can marry one of his kids.
No, she could, right? I think that would be okay.
Oh,
Yeah, totally. That would totally be okay.
You guys want to hear a nuts loophole? There's no gay marriage in Japan, so instead you adopt your partner. And that's how
Whoa.
it's fucked up.
How do you
That's
choose who gets to
nuts.
adopt who?
I mean, usually it's the older one, I'd assume.
That's
Yeah,
nuts.
That's ageist of you, Max.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this show goes over a little bit how these relationships work, but I don't think it goes over enough. Like, does this dude just go from so they said they had a rotation
Yeah.
of what bed he sleeps in. So is he just like 2 times a week with each wife and then one night by himself somewhere, or is it just continually every Monday, next week it's Tuesday, next week it's Wednesday, because like
Well, I've got to
there's
think.
an extra day.
Well, there's no extra bedroom, so unless he's off wherever with his 4th wife, I think that he's with one of the sister wives every night.
And also, how does
Unless he's just on the couch.
this dude have time to find a 4th wife?
I have no idea. How does this dude have time to do anything?
He doesn't have to deal with the kids.
No, he's definitely not. I mean, at least in this episode, it didn't seem like he was really dealing with the kids.
He's just working, coming home, banging, and then like praying with his kids, and then he's working, he's banging.
But does Cody work from home, or is he working?
You
from an
saw him in
office
his
somewhere?
car.
No. He was in his car to go see wife number 4, though.
Yeah. He's definitely working from home. He doesn't have a standard employer. Like, he could maybe go to
He
Starbucks
had
or
s-
something.
I thought he was some sort of rancher.
No.
Internet rancher.
Speaking of
Advertising.
internet ranching, I found a really insane headline. Remind me to bring it up later.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't matter. But
Yeah.
so it's just like that situation. He's got to have like this huge sex drive to deal with this.
Oh yeah, especially like just be like on the go. Like, okay, this is with wife X today. I gotta have it ready to go for her.
And there's definitely one wife that is way less attractive than the other two.
No, but he's in love with all of them, Chris. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Love is blind.
Love brings the boners. It's
Love.
okay.
Love is blind.
I mean, I don't know.
Maybe he's like also getting like testosterone shots. I don't know. Like that's the only way I can see that happening.
Sort of, does he have some Viagra already?
Yeah.
This dude looks bananas too. Though. Like we briefly mentioned that he has this weird tan.
It
He's
looks like he's had diving goggles on all day or something.
He's got giant sunglasses.
It's because what they didn't show is that each of the sister wives units has a tanning bed in it because he needs to have that tanning bed.
Oh.
He's like DJ Pauly D.
Yeah.
You gotta have that tanning bed.
For sure.
I was gonna say it reminds me a little bit of Richard Branson.
Okay.
sort of
Okay.
Probably with
see
a
that.
with a weird tan.
Yeah.
He also has like this weird haircut too. He's got
It-
some weird horseshoe baldness going on.
It's
And it's like
nuts.
long and like
It's like a Klingon's hairline.
it's true. More Star Trek references. I don't know how much more I got to talk about this show for.
I mean, their food situation is also crazy. Like they're buying. So we go to a music festival called Sasquatch every year, and we're usually going with like 10 to 12 people for like 3 to 4 days. So we're getting a ton of food. We're getting like
Many
100
eggs.
Yeah, like 100 eggs or so, like a ton of bacon, several dozens of bagels, you name it.
Bergs.
Yeah. They're buying that like every couple days.
Unbelievable.
Just
And-
yeah.
And they like show like them like making breakfast burritos and like pouring out salsa from a container. And I'm like, yep, we've bought that salsa container.
Oh yeah.
They're spending so much money on that breakfast. Like they've got to have money. Like
Yeah.
in this situation, when you're poor, you're just getting oatmeal. Like that's what you're getting. That's what you're eating.
For sure. I mean,
Like you're not eating any eggs or bacon or freaking burritos for breakfast.
I mean, but-
Because all that stuff is cheap though. Like tortillas are cheap, eggs from
yeah,
Costco
but
are,
they're
like,
not
really
as cheap as oatmeal.
Yeah, like oatmeal's dirt cheap, but you got to change it up sometimes. You can't if you're
Yeah, I
eating
mean
oat-
like one meal a week maybe.
They were classing it up a little bit for the camera. There's the first breakfast
Yeah.
they're showing the
Yeah.
camera. You know,
They
yeah.
even talked about his oatmeal.
talked about the oatmeal a little bit.
breakfast burrito is so classy.
So classy.
I mean, when you're going from oatmeal, that's pretty classy.
I mean, I fucking love a breakfast burrito.
Oh yeah. Just like the logistics of running this house and this family are off the charts complex. I mean, and like it is getting more and more complex as these kids get older too.
But they've got
Yeah.
4 adults.
They definitely have
they
4
definitely
adults.
like ramped into it. It's not like they had 3 kids. It's not like the Brady Bunch where they had 3 kids and 3 kids and they married.
You just think, yeah, I understand that, but you just think about like how much work it is like to have one kid and to manage all the things in their lives and all the activities and deal with all this stuff, and then to have they're about to have 15 kids, 16 kids in this house.
Yeah, but you
Insanity,
got more adults to deal with this, not just 2 of you.
Yeah.
I guess.
It's
And
wild.
some of these kids are actually old enough to,
Now some of them are.
Yeah,
but
the
the
first
first,
kids are getting there.
all of it leading up to that. Yeah.
Disaster.
yeah, I agree with you. It's a disaster.
Yeah, but I mean, like, is kind of strange. The whole situation is, as much as I don't really know what's going on with this Cody character, like it does seem like that, like the 3 wives really do have like a great relationship, and like they've basically just worked together to raise 12 kids, and like I mean, like it seems like they have like a really good supportive situation going on, like. Cody, I don't know what that
I
that
think
dude's about.
the reason
but-
that we get that sense is because they can't have that relationship with Cody. Like,
yeah, I mean,
they can have like a relationship with him, but not like the relationship they can have with their sister wives or whatever, because they get more time with them. There's just
Yeah.
not enough time with him working and like being with the other wives on date nights every week. Like,
Yeah. for sure.
there's just not enough time to be with him.
Yeah,
And I think the kids bring them together more than they bring them together with Cody.
yeah.
He's like, kids, you deal with the kids. I'm out here making bank on the internet. You can't be like, can't be dealing with these kids.
I'm out here making that internet money.
Maybe
Gotta
he's
make-
a Bitcoin rancher.
Oh,
Yeah, that the other house the wives moving into was the Bitcoin mining house.
That shit's gonna be toasty.
So toasty in the winter.
Yeah, that's where they get their heat. And in the summer, the Bitcoin mining branches turn.
That's
off.
how he gets the tan.
I want to know. Oh, I had it, and now it's gone.
Ouch.
All right, you want to hear my insane headline?
Sure.
Do you remember Mary's daughter's name?
Savannah.
No. It was Mariah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Follow along. Sister Wives Mariah Brown takes mother to a gay bar first time, people.com. Mary and Mariah Brown, joined by her girlfriend, visit the Unicorn Bar in Seattle, Washington.
Oh,
yes.
shit.
Unicorn, is it a gay bar?
I don't think
I don't
Unicorn's
think
a
so.
gay
I don't
bar.
think
but-
so.
I think it was in the back in the day.
But it is
Hey.
a hell of a place to bring like a polygamist.
Yeah, I mean,
That is an interesting situation that Mariah is gay.
Yeah.
Can't. So does that mean
that's
does that mean she can't be in a polygamous relationship?
You know, who
We
knows?
need a gender fluid polygamous society.
Yeah, I mean, like that's kind of a good question because, like, I guess you would kind of initially assume that a polygamist would be pretty open-minded, but these people are religious polygamists, so I'm not exactly sure.
So I looked it up. The family is okay with it, but
Okay.
the religion, not really.
Okay, gotcha.
But to be in a relationship with one other girl, that seems to be okay. But like, if she wanted to be like the third wife of somebody, like, do you
Yeah.
bring both of them on? Can she bring both of them in and like have some sort of three-way relationship going on?
Yeah, I mean, like, why don't they just get rid of Cody in this whole situation,
Right.
and then they just
Well-
got the 3 sister wives, and then they get sperm donations.
But
for
who's
the
going to do
kids
the yard work?
or something? The kids. We saw it.
As one of them said, they don't go weird.
They don't go weird. Yeah, well, they don't have to go weird.
They don't have to.
They're just raising these kids.
Right.
I feel like you have to go weird. There's 4 of you.
Well, actually,
There's a lot of tension
It
going
is,
on.
yeah. So we haven't talked about this yet, but they basically asked them if they're ever with Cody at the same time or if it's all just individual sessions, and they said that they don't get weird.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's you actually have to try it at some point. You're like, you're married. There's no kids in the house. There's just the 4 of you. You're definitely getting in some sort of shenanigans with more than one person.
When are there ever no kids in that house?
When they first got married.
Okay. That's true. That's true.
So I'm saying, like, in the beginning of this relationship,
Yeah.
they got married pretty quickly, it seems, because they're all married before any kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there's definitely a decent amount of time where there's just the 4 of the adults wherever they're living.
Yeah.
You think there's just, like, you know, hearing these banging noises and not getting interested, not like...
Yeah, I don't know. It's
I-
crazy.
I'm telling you. They're telling you they lied. Maybe they didn't like it, but they at least tried it.
Okay. I mean, I believe you.
Harrison, I need you to believe me. It doesn't look like you believe
I
me,
think
but
I
I
believe
need
you.
you to believe me.
I believe you, Chris.
Where are the grandparents in this? Do you think it just wasn't enough time in this episode? Or like...
Could be.
I mean, they introduced them in like flashbacks, kind of like, you know, oh, I met her father, and they show a picture of him.
Do you think that the dude just keeps adding wives, which then keep adding kids? So there's like all of them have to deal with more. Like when you get the grandparent age, you're just dealing with more young kids instead of dealing with your kids' kids.
Yeah, I mean, once Cody's a grandfather here. I mean, I assume that. I mean, the 12 seasons in, it seems like there was one of these girls is probably in high school. Like, does somebody have a kid
I
on the
mean,
show yet? Like, is Cody?
they have
Is
to.
Cody a grandfather?
I'd have to assume, yeah.
Right? Probably.
We didn't get that far.
We didn't get that far, but
There's definitely people getting married
oh yeah, it seems like it.
from what we saw. He's got to be, and he's just marrying this 30-year-old in this episode.
Yeah,
So like maybe on season
Yeah.
13 they'll get another 30-year-old in there to get more kids.
we should definitely watch an episode in season 12.
I know it
Now
really
that,
does
like,
intrigue me to figure out what happens.
Now that we know the characters, I just want to fast forward 12 seasons and see what these people's lives are like now. Like, it'd be interesting.
I also want to see this wedding because okay, so my assumption is that like everybody in everybody's family is like pretty okay with polygamy. So is everybody getting more excited each wedding or less excited?
If I were the women, the sister wives currently, I would be less excited because this new wife is definitely an upgrade. Like 100%.
She's an upgrade, and like it happened after 16 years, so that can mean one thing: he's bored.
Yeah, she is an upgrade 100%.
And like I said, like Cody's not a big factor, and like these three women have the situation kind of figured out, and he's just about to introduce some crazy new variable into the situation. Basically,
I mean,
His dick is the factor.
his dick is a factor.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the only factor I think causing this to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see we talked about how on the other side it makes economic sense if you're okay with being in this relationship,
Mm-hmm.
but from the family, the current family, the only thing that really makes sense is the dick situation.
Yeah.
We don't know how old these women are though. One of them's having a baby, so she can't be that old.
Right.
Yeah, I think she's like 35. Just 6 kids, 35.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I don't know.
Whoa.
Harrison, we wrote
You
some
age
quotes down. Harrison, can you get the quotes?
Oh yeah,
out?
you want some of these hot quotes I got here?
We'll just talk about quotes. We gotta talk.
Love
quotes.
Okay.
Love quotes.
Sometimes Cody just kind of talks about stuff and it doesn't make any sense. So like they were talking about how one of the sister wives like brought this dog back to the house. They like adopted this dog, and he's like, back when I was growing up on the ranch, we used to be able to speak to dogs and they'd answer us. And then he's kind of looks, and then one of the daughters is like, "No, dogs can't answer." He's like, "Well, in a manner of speaking, is it something like that?" And you're like,
I think that from my parents had a yellow lab, and I think he was implying that that dog specifically was dumb.
yeah. I mean, that's what it seems like. But it was a
But they
weird
didn't
quote.
say that.
We've already talked about if you have 2 wives and you're having problems, marry a third.
Yeah,
That's what they say.
as the polygamist.
Oh, okay. This one's really good. Okay, so one of the sister wives has apparently decided to not toast bread in a toaster, but toast bread in an oven because she's heard that toasters kill more people than sharks do every year.
Which is entirely
Which
true.
is probably true, but like that's not a good reason not to have a toaster.
The orders of magnitude of people making toast versus are in the vicinity of a shark is astronomically different.
Oh yeah.
The more I think about it, the more toasting bread in the oven makes sense for them. Like you could just pop like an entire loaf in the oven at once and it's toasted.
You
Yeah,
can.
true. The
but-
economics of scale of toasting the oven make more sense.
You
just
just have to
gotta-
say that. You don't have to say the dumb shark shit.
I mean, just get one of those 8-slice toasters. Just get get the biggest toaster you can buy for this family. Like,
Yeah, but then
eight
how about
slices
the
still
counter
matters.
space?
Guys, just throw it in the fucking tanning bed and you're good to go.
all the tanning bed, that tan toast.
The counter
tan
space, Harrison, they have a pretty big kitchen, but the counter space of a giant toaster would be insane.
Yeah, you gotta start doing some of that tiny house stuff if you're gonna start having appliances that big.
Yeah, exactly. So I agree. Logistically, this makes way more sense
But-
than the story of people dying because of toasters.
But
But
then-
she was very serious about the sharks.
Well, even Cody made a joke about
Oh,
how
yeah.
serious he was
Right.
about it.
Cody's like, oh, she's talking about the toasters again, huh? Her friends got her believing that toasters are too dangerous.
Okay, which of these 4 to 5 people do you think is a flat earther? I think toaster lady. Definitely.
Toaster has to be.
Yeah, toaster lady.
I didn't really get a good read
That's
on
Christy, right?
Yeah,
I didn't really get a good read on the conspiracy theory levels of the other ones.
yeah.
I feel like Cody might be the next one. Like, if I'm going by levels of intelligence,
Oh yeah.
like Christy's at the bottom, then Cody, then the other,
Cody.
then
Then
probably
Janelle?
Marie, and then I think
Marie.
Janelle might be the like rough intelligence meter,
Maybe.
rough intelligence grade. So like,
Yeah.
those would be my levels of flat earther likelihood.
Oof. The only other quote that I had is that at some point Mary or they describe Mary as being the head of mergers and acquisitions
Oh,
because
yeah, that
she's
was
the one
great.
that brings in all the other wives. But I don't think that she brought in this new wife though. So
She definitely concerned because she was like, yeah, there's a jealousy factor, and this new girl Robin is definitely an upgrade. So like she knows it,
yeah.
but like
not
he's so
great.
used to having 3 wives. I can't. You just instead of seeing him twice a week, 2.2 times a week or whatever,
Yeah.
2.3. Now you see him 1.8.
It would seem that once you're already at 3, that you might as well go to 4.
Why? No.
It seems like it wouldn't be that
when do you just?
it
Why don't you
seems
just go to 7?
It seems like making the jump to multiple wives, 2, 3 wives, is like a big deal. But once you're kind of already at that 3 level, add another one on, does it seem like it's a
I
big
don't
deal?
think so. I think that there's you have one.
It's definitely the chemistry is a problem.
Then you've got 2. 2 is not enough. I think you got to do. You can't just do 2. You got to do 3.
Yeah, and
but
stop.
I think 3 is a fine number. I don't think that's a gateway to 4.
I just think that 4 becomes easy at some point.
But yeah, after 16 years, when you're bored, you
Yeah.
got to get that 4th wife.
And you
in
get
there.
that internet money coming in because this show 12 years ago, I don't know if that's great internet times, but
Eh, I mean, it's right after the internet bust, so it can't be great.
yeah,
Maybe have that Microsoft stock.
could be.
Do you
could
think
be.
the Guinness Book of World Records has most wives?
Probably.
So as we ramp down on this, I could see the appeal to the show. Like
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
I like this first episode a lot because it was kind of a documentary because it was explaining the whole situation, which is insane,
Mm-hmm.
too crazy. So that even makes it even better because you don't want to watch a documentary about just boring people.
Mm-hmm.
I think the number of people on this show is too many. There's too many kids. I can't care about all 16 and now going to be 21 of these people. I just can't.
Yeah.
Never going to remember all their names. Am I supposed to remember Yvette? Who? At least it's.
I've got to think that there are going to be kids that they're going to focus on more than others, but
You think so?
I guess the other good side to it is that there's always something going on with at least one of the kids. There's always some kind of content, and they don't really have to manufacture a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
which is
I mean
good.
that's probably true.
Yeah.
I don't feel like there's ever going to be a dull moment in this show.
Yeah, that is it. This is the most insane life you can live.
I have a challenge to that.
Okay.
What is more insane? This show where they have 18 kids or 18 kids and counting?
What's 18 kids
It's
with
10 plus and counting, I thought.
No, it's 18 now.
with just with one person?
Just with one wife.
that's a tough situation.
What is more crazy?
Can you even have 18 kids?
I think she did.
It depends on how much money you have and how many people you can hire to help you manage that situation, I think.
Yeah, I think the sister wife situation is a way better situation.
It is a lot better situation for taking care of the family.
I think overall it's a way better situation just because there's more people to give love and attention to those kids.
It seems like it definitely seems like an ideal situation in this show right now, just because they're all so close and it's working really well. We saw a couple of clips from later on in season 1 when the 4th wife comes in and there's a little bit of conflict. I hope that part is not really.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would love to see this house divided over something.
That'd be pretty tough. That's
I'd
a
love
disaster.
just kind of see that situation.
Oh my god.
The thing is, I don't know if I really want to watch 80 hours of this show. The show's there's so many episodes, 12 seasons, 20 some episodes a season, 40 some minutes.
If there was an hour-long recap of every season, I might consider it.
Harrison's definitely watching the show later.
Honestly, it's not bad.
It ain't bad.
All
Maybe we
right,
should go with the
Harrison.
rankings
With that,
Harrison.
With that,
should we talk about some ratings?
Yeah.
Some right. So what is-
44 minutes.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a top third show for me. I think it is. It's just a really fascinating situation. It's taking a pretty everyday thing that people deal with, crazy home life, crazy family, putting a little bit of twist on it and cranking it up to 1,000%.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's good. I think that it's really, I don't know, it's a heartwarming show and like kind of humanizes the whole polygamy thing, and it's pretty cool. I gotta say I'm not all in on Cody. I think that he seems like, I don't know,
A dick.
a little bit of a douche. But I'd be interested to see more of the whole situation.
All right.
Top third.
All right, Max, what do you got for me here?
I'm torn because I think this is a fascinating show, almost in the same way that like Married at First Sight was, where it is very documentary-ish. But I don't feel like a huge need to watch more, so I'm going to say middle third, very, very top of it.
All right, Brian, what do you got for me?
It was very close, but I'm gonna have to go with middle third, only because I think like this episode is gonna be formatted differently, because it was like the whole introduction, the introduction of polygamy, the family, and then the other ones we might see more of the fake-ish drama.
Reality BS.
Yeah. So it might still be entertaining, but probably not as entertaining as this. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I want to check out another episode.
I was gonna say this was another episode where you didn't have a top third, but you do have a one top third.
Which one was that? Oh, that was the
Jersey
pickup artist
Shore.
one?
The pickup artists.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wait, were you on the Jersey Shore? You were on the Jersey Shore episode, weren't you?
Yeah.
I think I was on
Yeah,
the
that was
top third.
Yep.
I was remembering our statistics from season 2. And you had like 4 bottom third shows and 1 top third.
Yeah, you always bring me in for the bottom of the barrel stuff. It's like, oh yeah, the team's losing already. We got to bring it.
Yeah, I'm on Max's boat here. I'm conflicted because I think the subject matter is not like I don't support polygamy unless you're gonna be like sex neutral about it. But then it doesn't
Sure.
really make sense. So it's like if you're gonna allow multiple marriages, you should be able to marry like gender fluidly.
I 100% agree with that.
So it's like, do I want to contribute to like? Because I feel like this show being so popular will contribute to more polygamists.
It's possible. I mean,
there's definitely some moral obligations that I
It's-
have here.
it certainly doesn't seem. I mean, I agree with you, and I think people should be like, people can have multiple marriages, do whatever they want. Like, it didn't seem like there were unwilling participants in this situation either.
No, it
But-
definitely seemed they grew up in it. So like the fact
They're
that
kind of
like
more.
people are growing up with the
They're-
show also kind of puts them in this relationship where they might want to be the third wife. Like they see
Sure.
what it's like.
Yeah.
Or they all read the book The Ethical Slut.
Maybe.
Or maybe it will inspire people to do other gender mix
You think so?
polygamous relationships.
Maybe. Maybe it's just a test for like the Mars, when everyone's going to Mars or something. I don't know.
Something.
When you're shipping a lot of people far away, you definitely want to have as few genes as possible.
Well, you just want to have more women so like you can procreate faster.
True.
As discussed earlier in the episode. I mean, last week I dumped a show from middle to bottom third. I think it was really entertaining. I think it was. I'm going to put it in the top. I'm conflicted because I agree with Brian. I don't really know what the rest of the show is going to be like, reality show BS wise. But this first episode was really good. Like I really enjoyed it. But I also really like documentary style. I don't know if that's going to continue. I doubt season 12 is going to be as like good as season 1 is going to be.
Don't know.
Or I don't know, but I am intrigued. Like of reality show BS drama, I feel like this provides like a good number of people, a good amount of different drama that will happen most likely. So we'll put it in the bottom of the top.
Put it on the board.
Put it on the board.
Alrighty.
All right, Max. Of reality show BS. How about that Jersey?
Jersey is really great. Just fantastic.
How's what do you think of Ronnie?
There is about a 3-minute session of this episode where Ron insists that a door that he is caught on video closing is actually an automatic door and closes by itself.
I mean, compared to Cody,
Yeah, so Ron clearly has like a problem.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil too much, but it's great television.
I'm not sure it really matters.
You can spoil Jersey Shore for me if you want.
Oh, I didn't realize you haven't watched last.
I'm not.
week's.
I'm not currently watching it, so I don't know if you're worried about spoiling me. Don't be.
I was not concerned about spoiling
Okay.
it for anyone. To
Don't
be
worry about
honest. Yeah, Ronnie's definitely the big drama pool this season,
Oh yeah.
and he's apparently single, ready for the next season to film. So that'll be interesting.
Very interesting.
Harrison, I think you wanted to talk about Westworld.
Yeah, I just want. I mean, we don't need to go into crazy depth on Westworld or anything. I just want to say it's such a good show. It's been so good this season.
I
You're gonna disagree with me.
had a really big concern about the last episode.
What was your spoilers for Westworld? We should say.
Season 2, episode 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Starting now. What was the whole point of the fucking fort scene? It seems like a dumb Game of Thrones battle
Okay.
where that doesn't occur for any reason.
I 100% agree that whole fort scene made no sense. And like
I think they're just gonna explain it later.
it had to have been as part of a narrative or something like that, because the whole way that it went down made no sense. You have these special ops Delos military mercenary guys
Yep.
trying to roll up on the fort with no cover, just walking towards like the fort. That doesn't make any sense for any kind of tactical
And they have
person.
like a ton of grenades. Like
They have like a ton of grenades, and then on like Dolores' side of it, it seems super poorly planned, and like somebody just runs in and grabs Abernathy when no one's looking somehow, and she just happens to see him riding away. Like there's some weird stuff going on like
I
in
don't
that
think
whole
so.
scene.
I think that made sense.
I
do
will-
think that they didn't leave the back. They left the back door open and like unguarded. That I don't get. Like if you shoot a couple
Like-
people there,
Dolores is supposed to be like super smart at this point, right? Like
I don't know.
super smart robot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't do the Maeve thing where she
She
put the
didn't.
numbers all the way up.
That's
So,
true
like,
too. I don't know.
There's
It's been-
definitely something weird going on with the Dolores storyline in terms
Yeah.
of how, why she murdered all those soldiers. And like, there's definitely pieces where like, oh, this is her father. That kind of like makes it seem like she's obviously conscious. But then there's like this part where she lets all these soldiers get murdered. And you're like, why did you do that? And I'm assuming that they're going to explain it going forward.
I have
Very worried.
I have kind of like one of my takeaways from the first season of Westworld was like the moments where the show feels weird or like kind of seems to not make a lot of sense ends up getting explained by some actual plot thing later, because like a lot of times like the things that feel weird feel really obviously weird too. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just
My thinking here is that only might be the only original robots hosts that can become conscious. So like getting rid of the new hosts is part of what needs to happen, because they like are stuck in their loops or whatever, and those loops are ending. So like that could be a possible explanation for killing all these soldiers, but like I don't know.
Right.
That's just a guess. And that's what I love about this show, is that like I get to ponder what's going to happen and interesting plot points, but it's also kind of like an overarching like what is humanity? It's like introspective on humanity that makes the show, I think, next level.
yeah.
Yep.
What's the nature of humanity and consciousness and all this? Yeah,
Yeah, so like it's close. It's like top 10 TV show.
Oh, agreed.
it's been very good. I'm really so I was happy that we got to look at one of the other worlds, one of the other parks this week. Got
Raj Park.
Raj World, and then at the end we're getting towards that Shogun World.
Oh yeah.
So there's 3 other parks floating out there that we don't
I
know
don't
about.
understand the Raj Park.
No,
Like
it's just
who wants to go to 1930s India
dude,
and
it's
subjugate Indians? Like,
A, it's like some Indiana Jones shit. B, people love colonialism. We did it for hundreds of years.
That's probably
I
true.
mean, We love being superior, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's also pretty much for hunting.
Well, I mean, that one side of the park was for hunting.
Yeah.
On the website, it's described as like the spa park. Like, you know, it's very relaxed and you can go hunt a tiger.
And like servants and whatever.
Yeah.
Can you go on like a Temple of Doom adventure?
Unclear.
That'd be cool.
That would be fun.
One of my favorite theories that I read about this on the internet recently, and like I don't actually think that this is gonna happen, but it's kind of funny to think about. So the original Westworld movie was written and directed by Michael Crichton, who is famous for writing the book Jurassic Park. What if Jurassic Park is one of the other parks?
I was reading that wouldn't make a lot of sense.
Apparently, Nolan and Joy got dinner with George R.R. Martin once, and he said they should do Westeros World.
Westeros World.
But they said no.
Westeros World would be great.
It would be great.
Would be.
I would love to see like a fiction world of some sort.
But like the problem with Westeros World is there's magic. How do you bring magic into this?
VR shit.
VR.
You can have VR outside this world. You know that, right? Like you probably have the best VR ever in this world if they can make robots like that.
Do we have any concept of like what year it is in the show?
No.
There's only been
Because-
like a little bit of the outside world.
Because there's that scene where that one Dallas dude was getting pitched.
I
on
don't
the park
understand
stuff.
how like, you know, you start this park, right?
Yeah.
You build this great robot tech, all internal mechanisms. Like that's got to take forever.
Oh yeah, that takes so long to do.
Like if you were to make that today, that would be like 100 years of research.
yeah.
And
Oh,
then
yeah.
you like throw that all away to make these more realistic looking ones. That's got to take just as long. Like, you can't just be like, oh, well, these ones clearly are better. But like, what kind of R&D are you spitting between the two there?
I mean, it seems like at least 50 years has passed in that amount of time.
No, it's been like 30 years.
30-something
30
years.
something. We do actually know the because like I was just judging by how old William is in the two because he's
Well, William
probably 50 years older,
in
right?
point A to point B was 30 years, but
Yeah.
that wasn't like when they developed it. They said they
Sure.
were working on the tech for like 3 years before they opened the park.
3 years.
It's way in the future. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
so it's just like,
but like
I know it's way in the future, but you develop all the robot tech, then you just throw it away to develop this like printing white like muscle tech.
Now you have all the money.
Why don't you
Go
just start
crazy.
with the white muscle tech?
who knows?
Like
Yeah.
that's what confuses me a little bit.
I just think that it's, 40 years has passed since they developed the original tech and they just said there's new materials that became available or new something. I mean, like for 34 years, is a long
Yeah,
time,
but
long time in
it's
tech.
not like just new materials come available, so now I can make real humans. Like
I don't
that
know,
still
dude.
requires a lot of R&D and development.
Obviously it does, but like 30, 40 years, who knows what's going to be
Yeah,
happening.
but you've got you got to make the parks better. You can't just like.
Yeah.
I feel like it's way easier to make those robots more realistic than with the like when you already have them built with the metal parts than
be.
to like remake all
It's
that
probably
tech.
it's just probably a lot more expensive to fix them every time because they're all like built like a Swiss watch inside, and you can't just dunk them in the big tub of white stuff and remake them.
Maybe they bought a startup or something.
They had an acquisition.
They acquired
But, like,
the tech.
I was kind of thinking like when they were in that meeting where they were pitching the Delos guy on it, like they were asking like what kind of like investments he's looking at. He's like, oh, I'm looking at like some AR, some VR, whatever, which kind of makes it seem like it's kind of like he's being pitched in like 2018 because when the robots roll up on him, he's basically just like we're not here yet, like this is insane. So it makes it kind of seem like it could be like in our time frame. Like
Let me.
I think it's at least 100 years.
you think it's 100 years from now and people are still making AR, VR.
Yeah,
startup
what else are you
investments?
doing?
Maybe.
What other things do you have past AR other than just not calling them AR anymore?
I don't know.
I think we have officially discovered the one, suspension of disbelief thing you just have to give Westworld.
There's lots of disbeliefs I can give Westworld. I'm
Yeah.
just like, I'm curious at what like the big question of this season is.
What is family?
Think so?
What is
Could be.
family?
Yeah, there's a lot of family going on. Except for William's plotline has nothing to do with family, realistically.
Well, or does it?
Maybe we get some more of Logan's backstory. That would be
I mean-
interesting.
I want to see now Logan, and I think we might see some William family.
I want to know how.
I think we have to. I mean, like, isn't it like that girl in the Raj world has to be
Gotta
some
be.
kind of relation to somebody, probably
Yeah.
William.
I want to know
like-
how Logan lost the company 30 years ago.
Cocaine.
Like-
That'd be They definitely need to answer that. Like how William got him out of the
Like at
company.
the end of season 1, I didn't really care that much, but now like I thought maybe he just didn't come back. Like he was just in Westworld and like he died
Yeah.
or whatever because William just fucking left him there.
Now they've made William running the company a point, and that Logan's still around, but something happened.
When as soon as Logan ended up in that poolside while William was there in charge of the company, they have to explain it.
yeah, for sure.
So we don't need any of this lost shit. I just don't know what you could do in Westworld that William didn't do that would make you not be able to like run the company.
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna
Because he's like murdering people,
Chris.
he's raping people. Like,
could be.
Who knows?
oh man, Max is like,
Yeah,
Max, give me this look.
This is not the Westworld podcast.
This is the Westworld
This
podcast.
Westworld section of the podcast.
This
though.
is we're going deep on the Westworld, Max. We're deep.
I'm trying to keep it going.
Where do you think about Bernard? Where do you think Abernathy is?
He got stolen.
I know where he
by
is.
the people.
What people?
Who do you think Abernathy is?
What
When?
do you think Abernathy is? All right, guys. You can find us on Facebook.com/whoputthison. You can find us on Twitter @whoputthison. You can leave us questions and suggestions at whoputthison@gmail.com. Please rate us on iTunes. It helps. And we'll see you guys next time.